What's going on, y'all? How you feeling today? Welcome back to the dojo. Welcome back to the daily discussion. Your boy Hawk Sensei, Professor Hawk. I got another one for you, right? I had a bit of a revelation this morning. I was making a video and I caught myself saying something that I thought was rather profound. Responsibility is the mark of a man. There are many things that go into being a man. You know what I mean? Making sure you can take care of your responsibilities, making sure you got enough money in the bank, making sure if you got kids, they taken care of, making sure that all your ducks are in a row. But all of those things fall under the umbrella of responsibility. And it got me thinking, I'm like, what does it take to be a man? The core piece is responsibility. Accountability it kind of goes hand in hand with responsibility. Accountability, you're going to be held to a certain standard when you have responsibilities. That's accountability. You're supposed to conduct yourself a certain way or handle your business a certain way. It's your accountability. But we're not really talking about it. We talk about responsibility and why that's the mark of a man. Because look at it, right? When you were young, when you were a child, how much responsibilities did you have? Or should I say, how much weight did your responsibilities carry? You were responsible for your homework, making sure you brush your teeth, wash your face. That's hygiene. That's something you're supposed to do on your own because you want to groom yourself and be a presentable person to anybody else who may be looking, right? But when you're a child, you don't have many responsibilities, and the responsibilities you have, they don't really hold no weight. They just really, your responsibilities as a kid is supposed to become habits when you're an adult. You're supposed to have good habits, and your parents try to teach you good habits when you're young. But as you age, and as you grow, and as you develop, you realize that you are going to be held accountable for the things that you say, the things that you do, and or fail to do. You know what I mean? A man, he got to handle his business. And when you become a man, you take pride in handling your business. If you've never been in that place, then maybe you ain't reached the winner's circle yet, man. But we all gotta grow up sometime. Nobody's a kid forever. Man. Unless you want to talk about Simon Birch, that was a tragic movie. But that's another story. So when I go back into the subject matter of responsibility being the mark of a man, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. As a man, you're responsible for everything in your life. Everything. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's going to tell you what and how you should do it, unless you want a job or whatever. But, job responsibilities ain't that difficult because your work is usually cut out for you. You know what you got to do. But I'm talking about life responsibilities. If you got kids, you're responsible for making sure that they fed, they got clothes to eat, and they got shelter, a safe place where they can actually be raised, right? But if you're not in their life, then you really just gonna be paying child support. That's where your responsibilities end. I mean, you can still co-parent, but it kind of defeats the purpose of not being there for the kids. You're just there financially. You're just a provider. You know what I mean? But you're responsible for rearing these young ones up and making them productive members of society. The reason why most people are having problems today is because there wasn't a responsible father around. We're a generation of men raised by women. We are a generation of men raised by women. We need more positive male role models. to show us how to be more responsible. You know what I mean? I made a lot of bad choices in my life. And I was held accountable. And I was held responsible for everything that I did that wasn't of good character, I should say. I made my mistakes, and I made my peace with my mistakes, because my mistakes, they made me more responsible. Yeah, they made me more responsible, because as I made mistakes through life would begin to get harder and harder if I didn't take care of my responsibilities, if I didn't earn enough money, if I didn't pay my car note, my car would get repossessed. I never had a repossession. I usually just wreck my car, but that's another story. Being responsible is just handling your business, just taking care of all the things in your life. Just taking care of everything in your life. Taking care of your children, taking care of your health, taking care of your responsibilities at work, taking care of your lady. You know what I mean? It's in our nature to want to provide and protect. Right? You can't really provide and protect as a child. You can try, but there's only but so much you can do as a little kid. You know what I mean? Like I was saying earlier, when you was a kid, you ain't really have no responsibilities. You was free to, do whatever you wanted when you had time to, outside of your homework or whatever, however you was raised. But when you become a man, you take pride. You really feel good about taking care of business. It feels good to take care of business. It feels good to handle your responsibilities. And if you don't understand that feeling, then that means you ain't ready yet. You're not there yet. You're not ready to be perceived as a man. Because as a man, you got to hold your own weight. You got to hold your own weight. You got to do it yourself. Now, you may be in a situation where you may not have all your ducks in a row, because the way the world is, like the cost of living, like you might not be in a situation where you got your own. But even still, you still hold down your responsibilities. Like, let's say, for example, you still live with your peoples, right? Like, you don't have your own place. I guarantee you handle them responsibilities like a man. You clean up the house, you know what I'm saying? Make sure the trash is taken out. Just simple stuff like that. Just taking care of responsibilities, and even contributing something to the household because you working. You know what I mean? You can still take care of your responsibilities even if you don't have your own. You still, as a man, you want to take care of your responsibilities. And if you don't, then something's wrong. Something's clearly wrong. It could be a case of arrested development where you haven't matured to the place where you understand the value of taking care of your responsibilities. But either way, you're going to be forced to take care of your responsibilities. And if you don't want to take care of your responsibilities, it's going to end you in a place where somebody's going to be responsible for you. Somebody else is going to take care of your responsibilities. That place may be jail, that may be the hospital, or maybe you're not here. I don't know. Being irresponsible is the quickest way to not gain respect. That's another thing when it comes to responsibility and manhood. Other men who are handling their responsibilities can never respect someone who is not. It's like, bro, you got kids and you're not taking care of your kids. Bro, why'd you have them kids? Everybody knows what happens if you lay down with a woman with no rubber and, you know what I mean, you release. There's a pretty good chance that y'all gonna procreate. She's gonna get pregnant, and 9-10 months later, she's gonna drop a baby. And now you're gonna be held responsible for parenting that child, whichever way you can, whichever way, you know what I mean, the dynamics of your relationships allows you to raise that child. But look, right? I had this revelation earlier today because I was watching another video where a woman was talking about men don't like to take accountability. I'm like, what? We live for accountability. We live for accountability. That's what makes us feel like a man. When you taking care of your business and handling your responsibilities. So when I heard that, I said, what? What the hell is this one we talking about? I said, responsibility is the mark of a man. That's like the starting point. That's like the base. That's like the main ingredient for manhood. It's responsibility. Handling your own. Right? So when I look at responsibility, I say to myself, a man who don't handle his responsibility is a man not worthy of respect from other men. That's just how it goes. If you around other men who handling their business, it's gonna make you want to start handling your business because you feel like you lacking. You feel like you left out. That's what happens. You get to an age where you're like, look, man, I gotta stop playing. I gotta be serious. This thing ain't no joke. I'm running around up and down the street all day playing. All walking up and down the street all day playing. Right? We gotta get serious out here. We gotta get serious. We cannot be waking up every day fooling around. Let's make a plan. Let's draw up this blueprint. And let's make some moves, man. Seriously, let's make some fucking moves. The times that we in an information technological age where anything you want to know, you can probably look up on the internet. There's so many how-to videos and do-it-yourself videos. Like, if you really want to learn something, you can. Right? But the fact of the matter is you don't want to. You don't want to. And I would say that's okay, but it's really not. You gotta want to grow, change, and improve. I hate to stagnate. It feels like I'm not living if I'm not progressing. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm wasting away if I'm not progressing. You know what I mean? I really truly do. But when you handling your responsibilities, it gives you an overall better sense of self. And it's actually good for your mental health when you handle your responsibilities, because after you done handle all your work, now you can just let loose and play. And you ain't gotta stress about nothing else. You can just focus on enjoying the moment. You can just completely focus on enjoying what it is that you want to indulge in when all of your ducks are in a row, all your responsibilities been taken care of. If you don't know that feeling, I invite you to try to be a little bit more responsible and see how much more respect you'll get, and see just how much better you'll feel about yourself in general. Just handling business. Just handling your business. Taking care of what needs to be taken care of. Your responsibilities may only go as far as paying your bills, taking out the trash, cleaning the house, and cleaning yourself. That may be the extent of your responsibilities, but taking care of that make you feel good, man. It do. And if it don't, then something's wrong. Something is clearly wrong. But I feel like I rambled enough about this. I feel like I got the point across. You know what I mean? If there's anything you could think of that you'd like to add, please, down in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. I want more engagement on my channel, my Instagram, my YouTube, whatever. I want to hear from the people. I want to connect with the people. You know what I mean? I've always been somewhat of a standoffish person, but I want to change that about myself. I want to talk to these people. I want to talk to the people online. I want to talk to y'all, man. Y'all can talk to me. My door is wide open. My door is wide open. If you want somebody to talk to, more than likely, I'm going to be able to talk to you, because my channel's not real big right now. Hopefully one day it'll grow and expand, and we'll get a lot of like-minded people. We'll be able to build an actual community to do something with. You know what I mean? I want to do big things, but it's going to take a long time to get there. Unless God just wanted to say, hey, here it is. But I'm not expecting that. I'm expecting to work my way up little by little to get the things that I want out of life. I want to do it the right way. And I'm gonna take the narrow path. I'm gonna take the slow path. I'm not in no rush. I like to take my time, because when you take your time, you can get the full experience. You can get the full knowledge. You can get the full I said what I need to say. You get the full experience. When you take some time to let things cook properly. When you put something in the oven, it's gonna take some time to cook, right? Some things you cook, you gotta simmer them things, and that's for hours. You know what I mean? You can't cook a turkey real fast. That shit takes some time. That shit takes hours to cook a turkey in the oven, man. So, before I go, I want to touch on the responsibility thing one more time. It is the mark of a true man. A man who is responsible. You cannot do anything but give him the respect that he deserves, because he's taking care of everything that he's responsible, everything that he's accountable for. He's taking care of that. And when I see that on other men, I'm like, man, I need to get on my shit. Man, I'm bullshitting out here. What the fuck I'm doing, man? Yes indeed. So, if you ready to be a man, you ready to get that respect from your peers, all you gotta do is just start handling your business. Be responsible for everything that's under your name or attached to your name, man. It ain't that hard. All you gotta do is do what you gotta do. And it sounds simple, right? Just do what you gotta do. Take care of that, man. Handle that. That being said, Professor Hawk signing out. Hawk Sensei bids you adieu. Hope you're waking up every day with a plan, a purpose, and a smile. And if you're not waking up with a plan, a purpose, and a smile, hey, at least you're waking up. Till next time, y'all. Class dismissed.